yeah, like there's a video of you keying this guy's car.
Oh my God.
But he didn't press any charges. He felt bad for me, so he didn't press charges for me. I denied the whole thing the whole time, even though there was a video. I still denied.
How can you deny it if there's a video, man?
Still denied.
This girl's
I was
crazy.
young, and I didn't want to get arrested.
And welcome to the To Be Honest podcast. I'm here with my really good girlfriend, Veronica Rodriguez. Hi.
Hi, baby.
My good girlfriend of many years. I love her to death, and she's such a personality, such a vibe, a fellow Leo among the tribes, so I had to bring her on the show. She just got off a flight.
Yeah, baby. I landed a little late. My flight kept getting delayed.
A little late.
I was like an hour late. My flight kept getting delayed, and I was in vacation in Puerto Rico. And I decided to stay an extra night. You know how I am.
She travels a lot. This is what she does.
And then, but I was really just having a vacation right now and little time off from working so much in PR.
Yeah.
I had an amazing time over there.
That's good.
But yeah. I rushed into here. I was doing my makeup in the car, in the plane.
Well, I'm happy you made it. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course, friend. Anything
we've
for
been
you.
talking about, having you on the show forever, and the show's relatively new anyway. So, just to have you on is such an honor.
No,
the legend, Veronica, Little V-Rod. So many nicknames for you. But let's just get started, should we? Yeah. Okay. How did you get started in your career?
So I used to be, as you know, an adult entertainer, a porn star.
Oh, the top one, I might add. Like when I met you.
Right, when you met me.
Like
years
top.
ago. I think we met like 10 years ago?
Like 10 years ago.
10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And we met it through Instagram, right?
We went through Instagram. We were both like little Insta celebs. And we just like knew the same people.
Yeah, we have friends in common. I go to New York a lot.
Yeah.
So I liked you a lot. You were so hot. So
you were hot.
Right. I was a porn star, and I was like, I had to shoot with her. I want to be with her.
Yeah.
And more than friends, meet my pervert ass. And
that's what I love about you.
And I think I always hit you up when I was in New York to hang out.
Like, come hang out.
Yeah, let's do dinner. Let's hang out. Let's go to the clubs.
Yes.
Right in New York, yeah. And then we became really good friends. We travel around the world. We do our friends trip.
Yeah.
We do our birthdays together.
We started doing birthdays together. But I remember the first night I met you, it was so fun. Like you were feature dancing at a club, and I was like I lived nearby in New York, and I was like, I'm going to show up to this club. So I went to this club, and I got like a red money gun. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. You came and shoot it at me.
And I like was making it rain. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh God! And you had the little hoverboard. She does this performance. You don't do performances anymore, do you?
I don't anymore. I retired pornography 4 years ago and stopped doing featuring dancing, and I stopped filming content, like adult content, because I got signed by a music label. So now I'm just doing music. And
how's that been going for you? Good?
It's been a couple years already, and I haven't get a break through the break point.
It takes time,
right?
Like, especially for music.
I think I'm still preparing. I'm still learning. I'm still in the studio. I took a little break the past 2 months from music, but now I'm back at it, recording in the studio.
You're always doing like your music videos and making content.
Right. And so
That's
for 2 months I was a little down, so I wasn't really like going in the studio much, but I'm back at it now because I have a better team. I'm more organized, and I have a structure now in my career. So I feel like more prepared and more like.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. I know the music is so good. Do you have any like influences that made you want to get into music?
So I never thought I was going to end up like after pornography. I'm going to be a music artist. No, that never went through my head because I never sing. Like my voice was horrible. I will sing in the shower maybe, but I never thought I could rap, sing. I had to, it was being a whole process. My label signed me, thanks God, and like they've been teaching me how to act like an artist, and prepare myself to become a good artist, from dancing classes to singing lessons. Singing lessons really helped me for a whole year straight.
Really?
I didn't know I could sing. I could actually, I love my voice. I started learning. I love music so much. I feel like the difference between pornography is that I was performing my body and all of that and putting myself out there so much for so many years in the internet. And in music, it's so soft and it's so romantic, and you can do art. Like you can make a song of what you're living through in life, you know. So for me, it's therapy.
It's a different performance.
Right. So I go in the studio and I make a song of what I'm going through in life or how I'm feeling, my mood. If I'm going through a breakup.
How have you been feeling lately? You went through a breakup recently?
So no, I've been single for a year and a half. You know, my last relationship was with Little Pump.
Yeah.
I was with him for a year and a half. So yeah, the past year and a half.
You guys made music together. You made that one song. Was it? How many songs did you guys make?
Right. So
it's catchy.
That's how I broke into the music industry. Right. I did a song with Little Pump, my ex, and through the relationship we did that song, and then we were also doing. He was working on his OnlyFans company, and
I didn't know he had an OnlyFans company. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he created his own OnlyFans company, so I was there helping him, and yeah, we were really just working, doing music, OnlyFans, and you know, we were traveling the world.
That's
I was very
song.
Supportive.
Mala, Mala.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a really good song. So I think it was a good, you know, in general, it was a good experience.
Yeah.
I got to learn a lot from him, you know, because I'm becoming a music artist, so I also got to live and see and travel with him and see how he performed in concerts, everything, how he recorded in the studio. So I learned a lot, and even though the relationship was really toxic, but in general, yeah, like I learned so much from him.
That's good. Are you guys still friendly, or you guys just don't talk anymore?
You know, from my side, I haven't blocked on my phone.
You haven't blocked?
I haven't blocked on my phone because we just broke up like a year and a half ago, you know, and like we were very toxic, and eventually with the time, hopefully we can be friends. Like I'm always friends with all my exes because who knows you more, the people that you date, you know? Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm all love and light and good energy. Like I don't want to be on bad terms with anybody. I wish him well, obviously. Like he was great to me. I'm super grateful. He took me all around the world to all his concerts. He treated me really good while I was with him. We were just toxic and I guess not meant for each other.
Sometimes that happens. That happens in life. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of another question that I should ask. I mean, obviously the pornography probably helped you like tremendously with your self-confidence because you have to be like naked and be so powerful.
Right, so how did I get into the industry? I was 20 years old and I was working in Hooters. And
in Florida, or where did you start?
Here in Miami.
Oh, here in Miami. That's where you, so you were here in Miami.
And I wasn't making enough money, you know, so I started going to like, I wanted to do acting, and I went to like a recording thing.
Like a studio?
No, like a recording gig, you know, for acting, and I didn't know it was like a porn shoot when I showed up, you know.
How did you find the job? If you don't mind me asking, like through a friend or?
I was just looking online for like acting gigs.
And you showed up and they were like, it's a porn shoot.
And then I showed up and it was like actually like to be an extra in a porn movie. And I was like,
did you do it?
It was crazy for me. The first scene, it was crazy because it was like a dancing, it's called Dancing Bear for Band Brothers here in Miami. It's a big company.
Okay.
And
what do you do as an extra in porn? Like, what
you just sit there and you party and show your tits and like give blowjobs and stuff. It's
that's an extra. That's a real job.
Right. So my first scene was crazy because I'm there in a scene and I didn't even know it. I thought it was just regular acting, whatever, like for, you know, because I done so many other acting gigs for like Star Channels in 1950 Miami and a bunch of episodes for that series and other stuff. So I'm thinking like this isn't
so funny.
Let's see what movie is this for or what TV show, you know. It was for a porn scene, girl. And then the dancing bear guy with the mask just goes around with his thing out.
That's fucking nuts. It sounds like a cartoon.
All the girls are like laying around and they all like just suck him off. And
so that's how you got into it.
Right, so he started dancing, he came close to me and it was my turn and I was like, oh, get that thing off of me. Like I'm like, I'm pushing it that way. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. Like my mom is very religious.
That's another thing I was gonna ask because your mom, I know you and her had your issues.
Right,
for a bit.
So I hid it from my mom that I was a porn star for over 3 years.
Yeah.
And once she found out, because I was making so much money and how I was living my lifestyle, I broke her heart, obviously, you know. She's very religious, very Christian, and I was walling out, imagine.
Yeah, but online. You were addicted to the money.
Right, so once that scene happened, I kind of freak out and I honestly, what got me to all of this is like my ex-husband. He was obsessed. I think like he was obsessed with porn. Every time, like he had a porn collection that he eventually gifted to me. And I was married with this guy for 8 years, and through my whole porn career.
Yeah, I remember.
He used to record us while we were, having sex, and I wanted to be like the perfect girlfriend for him. I wanted to be like, I was so obsessed with him. I was so young. I was 19 when I started.
When did you get married?
We got married, I think I was like 22 or 21.
So
and so I started doing porn because I knew that's what he wanted. Like he was a fan of pornography. So I'm like, I'm going to become the top porn star chick.
That's
but
dedication.
This was after a crazy argument that me and him had. And I found some girl in his house and I key card his car.
He cheated on you.
Right. So first of all, I was working at McDonald's as a cashier, taking orders, and he pulled up drunk on a Super Bowl night, and he was so drunk, and he almost crashed his car, and he started making it rain on me through the drive-thru at McDonald's.
What?
And I'm like, this guy is wild. He wanted to buy my phone number, and he got it from the girl that was in the next window that had her food. And then he waited. He parked outside and waited for me until I got out of work. And he followed me home, but he was so drunk, so this is how I met him. I felt so bad. His dad was calling him because he was on probation. And I told his dad where he was at, so he will come get him because he was too fucked up. Mess. At the end of the night, his dad can get him because he was drunk driving. He was on probation. He could have got in trouble that night.
Yeah.
And I returned all his money. I left him. He threw $400 at me, and I put it. I felt bad about him. He was so drunk, so I felt like
it's more like
this guy's just drunk and being pathetic. Like I'm gonna just leave the money there. And then the next morning he calls me. He's like, "Wow, like you're an angel. Thank you." And then I told him his money was there in the car that I didn't even take it. And he's like, "Oh, you should have kept it." And then from their story, he picked me up from McDonald's. We went to smoke a blunt, and then we got married.
That sounds like quite
we had sex for over like 4 months, and then one night he disappeared on me. So I get off work, and I get to his house, and I knock on the door, and when I hear I hear a girl laughing. My heart dropped.
That's so
my
painful.
Chest, my pain.
That gives me like a stomach ache.
Yeah, it was a pain on my chest, and then I got so mad. I was so young. I was 19, So I had my house keys. And I went and key card his car with my house keys.
You keyed his car?
Yeah, like I don't know how that got in my head, my toxic ass.
You're Leo.
And I'm leaving mad.
Chelsea's laughing.
I'm leaving mad because I was telling him open the door. He knew I was there, but he wouldn't open the door because he knew I was gonna fight the girl because I was a wild girl. And I wanted to be like his girlfriend. I was obsessed with him. This is when you just first start having sex with somebody, and like, and you're so young and you're so naive and so innocent. You like fall in love,
Yeah.
And I went crazy. I keycard his car. I left. And the next morning, there's a video. The police called me, and they're like, there's a video of you keying this guy's car.
Oh my God.
But he didn't press any charges. He felt bad for me. So he didn't press charges for me. I denied the whole thing the whole time, even though there was a video. I still denied.
How can you deny it if there's a video, man?
Still denied. I was
crazy.
young, and I didn't want to get arrested. I was like, the police is going to arrest me, but he didn't press charges on me.
You guys stayed together for a long time.
Right. So after that, I was very depressed. I went to work. I was just working. I couldn't believe he was a cheater or whatever. Like I was so young. I was so new to love and everything,
Yeah.
So
he really did.
there I started. I'm like, I'm gonna be the biggest porn star.
Okay. So you had it in your mind.
In my mind, I'm like, now I'm gonna be his dream girl. I'm gonna be.
You're gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Since I was so hurt and so young.
Respect to all the women that ever been cheated on. Oh my God.
Right.
This is like the most gangster story, isn't it?
I was like, you know what? Like, he's going to cheat on me with a bitch in his house and not open. And I'm going to key card the car, and like he's still, this is a man that I married for 8 years.
No, but what kills me is you did it. You did become like the biggest.
Yeah, I did.
Like
so
top 10 in the world, I remember, right?
Right.
Something
so
like your numbers
I started
were
going,
crazy.
I hit up an agent, and I'm like, I'm going to be the biggest I want to start making porn.
I love
Book
that
me.
for
I want to.
you.
I don't want to be on those gigs that
Yeah,
are an
small-
extra. I want to be the
make me
main.
huge, make you huge.
And I was hurt. I wanted to hurt him
You
back.
wanted to hurt him back.
Yeah.
That's
And
the best way to do it, I think.
and there, baby, I started shooting. I went to Band Brothers.
Good
I
for you.
shot my first 3 scenes. They went viral.
I mean, you're a star, honey. You're a star. You're
They
good.
went
You're a
viral,
star.
and he was gonna die when he seen that. He called me right away. We didn't talk for like over 2 months, and then I don't know where he hit me
Were
up.
you guys
and
living together? Or?
No, we didn't talk for over 2 months because I was hurt that I found a girl in Nike car, his car. I was scared, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had blocked him, and we didn't spoke until all my porn scenes started coming out.
Oh,
and
of
he's
course,
like,
and then-
please stop doing that. He's like, stop doing that. He came up, he called me and texted me, you don't have to do that. Stop doing that. I'm like, why? Isn't that what you like? Don't you like those whores from the porn movies?
Not me laughing. 'cause
Right?
I'm
So I
toxic.
was like, okay, now I'm going to be the top bitch. Like,
you
what's
were,
up?
you were. You really
And,
were. You crushed it. You crushed
Girl,
it.
I blew up in that
you, like,
industry.
you got like awards and stuff, right? You went
Right,
to
I won many awards. You know, I used to be proud of all that, but
You
you know, that's
killed
my
it.
ignorant.
No, it's not
childish
ignorant.
shit. It's just,
It's you did a
It is what
very
it is, you know,
crazy,
it's my
intense
past.
thing. It's a job.
I was
And
in
you're
it for
good at it.
over 9 years, 9 years.
And now you're retired.
Now I'm retired.
I like that for you. You're
I'm done with all the
retired.
crazy stuff.
That's
I'm in my soft era right now, doing music.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable doing music. I feel happy. It's like a therapy.
You're traveling. You're doing
Yeah.
you. You're single, right?
I'm single right now. I'm healing
That's good.
spiritually and connecting with God.
Cheers to that.
Cheers,
Yeah.
baby.
I love that.
And just healing, baby.
Me and Veronica both go to the same church. So
Mhm.
shout out to View. We love View. View Church.
Yeah, and you know, church helped me a lot. Meditation helped me a lot
Yeah.
to change my life, to woman up, to wake up.
Yeah.
Because I was welling out, you know, I was doing a lot of drugs. I was doing
Yeah.
all these porn scenes. I was top 10 worldwide for more than 8 years. I was
Yeah.
squirting. I had this talent
I
in
was
pornography. So I would just squirt and get everybody on. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was a little
Yes.
sex robot. And that's all I did for over 8 years. I'll go to LA,
Yeah.
shoot porn from Monday to Friday. Friday and Saturdays, I'll feature dance. And that's one of those feature dance. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, I did that for over 8 years, and that's all I did every month.
That's all you did, like a robot.
Yeah. And
Now you probably have more of a free schedule and
yeah.
time for yourself.
Then when my family found out, that was like the craziest thing. Because my mother, my brother told her that he found my porn.
Yeah.
And he told me, call mom. This was 3 years though. 3 years later, when I was already like blowing up.
But he knew before that.
I hid it for 3 years. Nobody knew in my
no
family
one-
that I
your
was a
family-
porn star still.
and then
I was
your-
just
your
telling
brother
them
found
I
out.
work at Hooters. I have a sugar daddy, and he pays for all my stuff.
And then your brother snitched.
My brother snitched on me and told my mother that because
That's
he's like, you have 10
awful.
minutes to call mom. You know, once he's seen that, he's like, you have
Is
10
he
minutes.
an older brother or younger?
He's my older brother. He's 35. I'm 32
Damn,
now.
I can't believe he did that to you.
And he's like,
And
but
you said,
know,
no, I'm not going to call my mom.
he calls me and he's like, this girl, look at your phone, this picture, because this is you. Like, you're doing porn, sis? Are you crazy? And, you know, he flipped out. I don't remember because this was like 10 years ago, imagine.
Yeah.
So, and then he's like, you have 10 minutes to call mom and tell her what you're doing. And I'm like, no. Like, you're not going to give me 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I can put together how I can explain this to mom.
Yeah,
like,
it's like so bad.
you know, about, like, I was so scared to tell her. And nothing. Like, in an hour, my mom was already blowing up my phone, calling me. Look, I didn't want to answer her. I didn't answer her that night because I was so scared, and she left me 40 voicemails in my phone, 40. So I started listening to all these voicemails, and it's her telling me how sad and she was, calling me a whore, insulting me. The worst things that a mother can tell to a daughter, you know?
Yeah, I can only imagine
She
because
was
my
just-
mom's Latina, so I get where she's
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah, I let
It's
her
a
down, you know, I
judgmental,
betrayed
like.
her.
Did you
She-
grow up like Catholic at all?
So I went to a
Because-
Catholic school. I remember my mom always taking me to church when we were little. She was always being to church. Every Sunday and Wednesday we'll go to church, and then she put us in a Catholic school in Venezuela, Cristo Rey, and nuns. Like there was nuns. Or
Nuns.
teachers, right?
Yeah.
So you grow up.
So maybe that's why she like
Right, you
felt,
grow up,
like with that mental state, like it's very judgmental. Like how could you?
like we had a class is about God, Jesus, and the life, everything. So you have to pass that class, with good grades. So they make you learn about it. I think that was one thing too, because since you're a kid, they're making you in this religion, believe in this religion, and study it, and has a class in Venezuela. I feel like when I came here to the U.S., so my mom divorced my father. He was an alcoholic, and he will beat her. He will hit her. Terrible. Right? So he will abuse her and like hit her. And I feel like I grew up with all that, watching that, and that caused me a lot of traumas. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of my anger issues has to do with that. Which I'm working on it, I need obviously therapy and meditation. My father, he was very abusive towards my mom. I remember him coming to the house. He actually, I never really said this in public or to anybody because it's so personal. But my father, he's a schizophrenico. He has a schizophrenia, right? But we didn't know this. We didn't know this. He was just an alcoholic. And he lit up the apartment. One day my mom was sleeping with me and my brother. I was about 6 years old. And my mom was already, my dad was a politician, so he was in these political parties getting drunk. And when he got home, my mom came sleep with us in my room because she didn't want to get raped or him beating her or whatever. She was scared. So she locked herself in her room with us. And my dad went crazy because we wouldn't open the door, and he light up the whole apartment on fire.
He lit the house on fire?
On fire with us inside.
Oh my God.
And he hid the key, right? So my mom went outside, fought him. You understand?
Jesus.
So it was a crazy night for us. I don't remember much. I was so young,
How old were you?
I think I was like 6 years old.
Jesus, that's too young.
I have little...
Yeah, like...
I remember waking up from the smoke, and I'm in a fireman's shoulder, and he's bringing me down the stairs from the apartment.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Right? And there my mom said, I had enough. Enough is enough. I'm going to divorce your father. He went to jail, obviously, for a few days for what he did. And he lost custody of me and my brother, obviously, because of that. There, me and my mother moved in with my grandpa, his house in the hood, because I was very poor.
This was in Venezuela?
In Venezuela, right? I was super poor growing up, where, your grandpa lives here, all your aunts lived around, and the whole family lives together, in a room. So when that happened, my mom, was in the streets. My father burned all of our furniture, all of our things, and all we had was to sell the apartment, that was under my mom and his name. And they were going through it and divorce and the lawyers. So we had to go. So us as kids, we were, growing up, seeing my father abusing my mother. My brother grew up also being very abusive and very angry, feisty, to a point that he married a church girl, and he gave himself to God, and he changed his whole life completely because of all our childhood trauma, how we grew up. You understand?
So traumatic.
And I think my brother just gave himself to God to fix all of his traumas. Yeah. So he fixed himself.
Are you guys close now?
We're really close. That's good. Me and my brother, and his babies. He's very into God. Him and my mother is one of the reasons why I retired pornography. Because they gave me an ultimatum. They're like, you need to retire porn if you want your family back. So once my family found out that I was a porn star, I called my mother the next day after I heard all those voicemails. And I was crying. My mom was just going crazy. Like, are they drugging you? Why are you doing this? And I was just like, why can you love me? Even I'm giving you all the money. I'm giving you money to buy a house. Like, I give you money to take care of you. I'm a good daughter. I take care of you and everybody, the family. Like, why can you love me? I didn't understand. I was so blocked and so young. Why my mom wouldn't accept me? For doing pornography. Obviously, nobody wants their kids to be a porn star and be online having sex on camera, right? That will hurt you as a parent, right? But in my head, because I was so not awakened, I was so not mature, I was just 19 years old, just still very naive and very innocent at that age. You think you know it all, but you actually don't. You're just starting to live life, and you don't know shit, about life. And in my head, I was like, why can't you accept me? I wasn't giving up.
Right.
I didn't want to give up porn because it was so much money that I never seen in my life. You understand?
Yeah.
I was 20, 19 years old, making millions.
Yeah.
Millions that I blew on clothes,
Yeah,
traveling.
what were you doing with that money?
I was living the life, girl. I was traveling the world. You did some of the trips with me, so
I was enjoying that money. No, we had let's stop the sadness. No, we had a good trip. What was this, a couple of years ago, back when I was dating my ex. We all went, remember Miss Buscemi, we all went to Turks and Caicos.
Right, it was my birthday.
It was our birthday.
Uh-huh.
We had a birthday. We
always started.
Sometimes we couldn't join our birthdays. And we had this beautiful vacation in Turks and Caicos. And we did a yacht day, probably with Veronica's money. Well, probably.
Oh, with my
probably with her
my
money.
porn money.
With her porn money.
And my sugars will just give me money, right?
Like
I was
this.
making so much money.
So much money. We'd go on vacation. We go on the yacht, and then Veronica. I remember there's this video somewhere in one of our phones where like Veronica takes the Dom. It's like and starts spraying it all over me. And then I look at
when
that.
I get fucked up,
like,
or when I
that's an
get
expensive bottle, to be
when
spraying.
I get fucked up or drunk, like don't give me a bottle because I'll spray on
She
everybody.
loves to
everybody
spray her-
and more if there's
her
chicks
bottles.
twerking or big asses, I love it. Or ass tits, everything. I feel like champagne
Welcome
shower.
to the To Be Honest
champagne
podcast.
showering the bitches. Just spray champagne on these girls.
You love to spray champagne.
I love it.
You're
I'm
good
wild.
at it. You're good at it. Oh my gosh.
And so
That is so
I made a
funny.
lot of money. I didn't save up. I didn't pay my taxes for a lot of years.
For 11 years?
No. I started paying taxes like 4 or 5 years ago,
Oh,
catching
damn,
up and
it's catching
being
up.
right. And because that's when I woke up. That's when.
Yeah,
Was when I
You
was
were
like 27, 28, and I got out of porn, and I started getting
How
help
crazy.
from going to church, meditating, and a therapist. So that's how
Oh my God, what a life! What a life!
Yeah,
I've
crazy
like
life.
lived vicariously through you too, because like she'll take us on trips and like we'll go
like
around
I
the
made
world
so
and,
much
like,
money. I never
it's
saved
so
my
beautiful.
money. I never paid my taxes. I was wilding out for over 8 years. All my porn money, I was blowing it on
You
purses,
really
shoes. I had
were.
a whole shoes collection. I had all the Jordans that I wanted.
Yeah.
Anything I wanted, I had it.
You were a little princess. You're a
But that
little
was bad for
princess.
me mentally, because
Yeah.
then my ego kept growing. And then
growing.
there was a time that I thought I was just the shit, and I was it, and I was the best in Miami, and I thought
How
I was
old?
like.
What age do you think that was? Where you
That was
peaked,
from
where you were
22, where I was
you-
the top, my highest in the porn industry, and I was making a lot of money until like 27. At 27, I started getting bored of my ex-husband because I wouldn't be home. I would be in LA shooting for 2 weeks and being with sugars and seeing clients and stuff, and like when I come home and be with him,
sugar daddies.
Uh-huh.
So did you ever fall in love with a sugar daddy, or you were just like?
I
you
never fell in
stayed-
love with a sugar daddy, but I liked and connected with 2 of them
Okay.
on other levels. And
So more than a friend, more than a.
so I was becoming a big time porn star, and my husband was just, I would come home, and eventually I didn't want to have sex with him anymore because I wasn't getting paid for it.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like after 8 years of us being together and me being so obsessed about him and marrying him and just being with him because that's the man that I was so obsessed and in love with. That's another thing. So after he found out I was into shooting porn, he was like, he wanted to get back with me. We got back together. We started dating. I told him, okay, if you're gonna get back with me, we're gonna be in a real relationship. You're gonna move in with me, and you're gonna be my man, and you're gonna, you're not gonna be cheating on me, and I'm gonna put cameras at the house. And that's how it was. I had cameras. I had to build trust with him for 2 years, and then I got married with him. I was so in love. We had the best time. He would let me go work. Obviously, this hurt him a lot. He told me, he's like, look, it's really hard for me to be with a porn star, because you have to go shoot. But I was making so much money and everything, I'll share it with him. So we were living the
Right.
lifestyle, me and him, and I was helping him.
Did he ever
helping him out.
accept it, or?
Yeah, it will. He enjoyed it because me and him opened our own production company.
Yeah.
And I started flying out all these porn stars, and he will be the male talent, so he will have a lot of fun too.
Oh,
fucking
so
all
like
these
you
porn
guys,
stars.
you guys had like threesomes, and
We had a lot of
let him-
threesomes, everything that he liked, and
Oh.
we filmed it, and we had my own production company, VeronicaRodriguez.com, Vera Productions. And I started flying all these girls.
Well, then he can't really complain then. 'cause
Right. So his dream happened what he wanted. I was a top porn star. He married me, and then we fucked a bunch of porn stars together and made it a video and made money and sold it on our website. And we were banking, me and him. And then, so because I was having sex with him and I walked home, I was tired from shooting so much. So it started affecting me, my porn career, obviously, in my marriage with him at home. We'll argue. I was very jealous because I'll be away from home but I was toxic, you know. I would be the one shooting porn and away for 2 weeks, and he would be home waiting for me. He was an amazing husband, an amazing supportive person. But I was very controlling. I was very toxic. Like,
we're Leos,
I was obsessed with him,
it's
you know.
what we do. We're very controlling.
And
how long were you guys married for?
we're married for 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
So
He taught me everything that I know.
What year did you guys split up?
We split up in 2017. It broke my heart to hurt him because I loved him.
Did you end it?
I ended it.
You ended it.
He didn't want to. I was his world. You understand? I was his creation. And
Yeah.
I broke his heart. Like, he have given up. Like, he was a barber cutting up his hair just to build up all. He got so good with cameras, production, and shooting for our website. He was
Did you
managing
have
my
to give him
website.
alimony? I know that's really random, but
Alimony?
alimony?
When we got divorced, well, first of all, he caught me in a hotel with a fuckboy. I started cheating on him, baby.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
And he came in a hotel he logged into my iCloud on my phone. He was getting my texts, and there I was meeting some guy, and I was told him, oh, I'm meeting my sugar. I'm meeting my sugar daddy in the hotel. No, I was meeting with a guy, and he followed me, and he saw that I was pulling up with a guy. I'm sure it broke his heart. You know, we talk about it. I apologized to him about all the damage that I caused him because I was so toxic. He loved me so much, and
I mean,
he
you're
did
a little
everything
rebel.
for me.
That's one thing you're gonna learn about my
No,
friend.
like,
It's you
Big
can't.
Head, he was like an
you're gonna do what
amazing
you wanna
guy.
do.
You know, Big Head, it's hard nowadays to find men like that are just devoted to you and all about his girl. And like, you know, he did so much for me. It's so hard for me the past few years after we got divorced to find a man like him. I haven't found that love so devoted to me. And all these guys that I've been dating.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially in Miami. To date is like
to date right now. This is why I'm
hard.
single, and this is why I'm not dating anyone, because everybody's on some bullshit, and nobody's loyal anymore, and nobody's honest anymore.
Yeah.
And
it's better off to stay single.
guys want to be with me for my money and for who I am, or whatever. Like,
something.
I don't trust people. Like, I'm more looking for somebody that can get me off the streets and stuff, you know, like off my
Drake
work.
said, take me off the streets,
Take me
take
off
me
the
trap.
For. And,
that's what I'm looking for. It's not easy though.
Yeah, relationship dating right now. But he was the
nuts.
perfect husband, baby. I hurt him so much. I cheated on him. And on top of that, I asked him, I started dating some guy that I met on Instagram. I started traveling the world and never came home for 3 months. And he was heartbroken. He went crazy. And I didn't care. I was like I hurt him. I didn't care hurting him at the moment because I was so happy that I had a new person.
Oh, wow.
And then I had retired pornography. So he's like, oh, wow, you're going to retire porn for him? You know, and I'm like, no, it's because my family, my mom have given me an ultimate, like, so I didn't see my mother for 5 years while I was a porn star.
Wow.
I didn't see my mom. She like moved. She blocked me.
She blocked you?
She blocked me. 5 years I was alone. It was just me and my ex-husband, Big Head, and my 2 dogs. All my family was against me, obviously. So it's like I had no family. I was like alone in the world for over 5 years, but I had all this money, right? But I had you. You guys were my family, my friends, you know?
But yeah, you need your family.
I had you guys, right? So all these trips will fill up that emptiness of not being with my family's love. You understand?
Yeah, no, it all makes sense.
I think that's why we all connected so much too, right?
Yeah.
And then
we all kind of made our own family. That's the thing about it. We all kind of met for a reason.
Yeah.
And here we are today. We've been friends for like 10 years. Like, here we go, 10 years strong.
I became friends with all your friends from school.
Yeah.
And they're all so amazing. Ivan, Mari, amazing people. And, you know, I'm so thankful for that, Rosemary, because you've been through my whole toxicness.
I've been through it all.
I think you met me like...
I met you when you were just a little baby.
Yeah, baby. And we lived so many things together, you know, friend. And
I've seen
your
growth too. I've
for
just
me,
seen
you know,
changing,
Same, friend, and I'm so proud of you, you know.
Thank you.
like we're not little girls anymore and all this stuff. We live together, you know.
Yeah,
I love you,
my
baby. I love you, of course. I love you.
Of course, no.
So much. And you were always there for me, friend. Like when I feel
Always.
alone, when I feel sad.
When you fell apart, when you broke
You sleep
up.
over with me.
Yeah, we've been
You
through it
helped
all.
me, keep me company. You were an amazing friend to me,
Yeah.
always. So I want to thank you
Well,
for
I
that.
love you, so you're
I
an
know
amazing
you. You were my
soul.
sister, right?
It's
And
so important
I'm so
to
happy
have
that
that.
I'm super proud of you that you doing this podcast and that I can
Thank
sit down here with you
you.
and talk to you about my life, things that I
Yeah.
haven't tell
It's
you.
good. It's like therapy. You
Right?
need to talk about these things. That's why I made the podcast. The whole show is just to get it out and to be honest and to share and talk about these feelings. Because if you don't get it out, how you feel in these stories, like even you opening up about your father, and that just it means so much to me.
Yeah,
You never
really
spoke
talked
about
that because he was such a.
It's
I forgave him.
It's
you know,
a small detail, but it's very
you know that situation.
big. Yeah.
I wanted to help my father, so after my mom.
Are you still helping him? Or
Right. So after after my mom separated, he went to jail. He lost custody over us, and they got divorced. Obviously, I think they went to court for like a year or so to fight over our custody. But because he did that fire incident, he obviously lost our custody. You know? And my father wasn't like mentally stable, and plus alcohol, you know, will get him crazy.
Is he still an alcoholic? Or?
Baby, he will harass us at school. He just wanted to see his kids, you know, because he had like a restraining order or whatever for this long after he did that. So my father was going crazy, depression, going through it, you know. And thank you.
I'm okay.
My mom, through those 3 years that we were living at my grandpa's house, we were super poor in the hood over there in Venezuela.
Yeah.
She was at the beach, and she met this gringo. My mom had a big ass, very skinny little girl like me.
Natural?
A natural big
Natural
ass,
big
right?
booty.
But her ass is huge. My mom has a
Really?
big ass, and it's
Wow.
natural, right? She has the biggest butt of all of her sisters. We don't understand how. God bless her with that.
God bless that ass.
And she was
so
at the
funny.
beach, and through some cousins she met, through some friends she met my stepdad.
Okay.
He's a white guy, gringo. His name is Ernesto, my stepdad. He's who brought us to the United States.
Oh, shit. How old were you when you came to the United States?
So he started dating my mother. You know, this man fell in love with my mom. My mom was already divorced. He was going through divorce too, but he was in Venezuela visiting his family. And he's an Italian guy, but he lived in Chicago. He was a chiropractor, a doctor.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So imagine he had money, very stable, rich. And us, we were so poor in Venezuela. And like, you know, it was just the life changing, the American dream for me. It was like we were blessed.
You
like,
moved
thank
from
you.
Venezuela to Chicago?
So when my mom meets him and she gets pregnant of him,
Yeah.
they start hanging out in Venezuela for a year, and then he keeps coming back and forth for 3 years from the United States to Venezuela to see my mother, and my mom was pregnant with my little sister. I have a half sister, Katrina.
That's right.
And
How is she doing?
she's good. She's in college right now. I'm
Good
super
for
proud of
her.
her. Right?
Studying what?
I don't know what she's studying really. Like I think she's just doing like her first 4 years.
Okay.
But she's with her best friends, and
As long
I
as
help
she's
her
in
out a
school,
lot.
that's amazing,
Yeah,
though.
she's a
That's
very
really
honored
good.
student, beautiful girl.
Good.
My baby, you know, the baby in
Yeah.
the family. But she's 21 now, so she's growing up so fast, doing
my
everything I do.
gosh.
I hope she don't do nothing that I want to be an example to her in a way that you don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to provide for her everything so she won't ever have to do it or go through anything that I did on my 20s for money. You understand? I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
pay
yeah.
for her college. I want to pay for her dorm. I want to pay for all her things so she won't have to. She
That's
could
beautiful.
be a normal girl, because it's tough to be like being a porn star and all these things, all these mental and psychological judgments that you get from people.
Yeah.
Like you need to be mentally prepared for all the judgments, not to get
Yeah.
to you while you're be a porn star. You
Oh,
understand?
yeah. I mean, I can't imagine.
So, with my father, he stayed in Venezuela, right? My mother, at 12, after 3 years, while they work on the visa, my mother was like, if I'm going to go to the United States, I'm going to bring my kids with me. So
Right,
me and my brother.
Of course.
And my stepdad brought us here. Thanks to him, we made it to the United States. He got us a visa, and we landed in Chicago. I was 12. I won't forget that. Because a month later, I get my period, and I become a little woman.
Become a little woman.
And when I landed, baby, it was snowing. It was February. It was snowing in Chicago. I never seen snow. I
Chicago
remember
is
I was
so
12.
cold. It's so cold over there.
I
love
run
it,
outside, baby, and I touched the snow for the first time. And I was like, wow, this is amazing.
America,
It's so cold.
we made it.
It's a whole life-changing difference from the hood in Venezuela to this. I was like, wow, in this country. And I was just amazed, coming to the United States. And when he drive us of the airport and to his house, oh my God, it was a mansion, baby. It was like huge house. And I'm like, he's a chiropractor. He made really good money. Baby, he drove a Porsche. He had 2 cars, one for work and one, he had Rolexes. And so me growing up, I looked up to him, to his success, to his luxury, how we lived. When I got here, he had a daughter. She gave me all her room and all her clothes. So imagine, I just landed and I have my own room in this mansion, and it's filled up with toys and clothes, and everything is just passed on to me from his daughter. And I'm just like, I couldn't believe it. Is this Disney World? I can't wait.
This is
Disney World, Disneyland. Like, I'm like, this is amazing.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was so. Yeah, me and my toxic ass, I always thought that my stepdad was a bad person, but he actually wasn't. Him and my mother just wanted me to get out of pornography, and like the better for me, you understand? Wanted me to wake up and get healthy mentally, and stop doing that and find myself and better for myself.
Yeah, because I can only imagine.
All this time, I thought that he was the one holding her away from me.
Right.
I hold that against him, and so I was very ungrateful to him. I would like fight him a lot for over 8 years.
Really?
Me and him were fighting because I'm like, you don't let me see my mother, you don't let me see my sister. He's like, but you're a porn star, you're a bad influence. Like, my daughter, like, I don't want her to see or know what you're doing. Like, you're a bad influence. And I'm just like, I understand this, but it hurt me. But I was so blocked in my head. Like, why would they not accept me for who I am? Why would they don't love me? And I felt like abandonment. So I have abandonment issues.
Abandonment issues.
Because my family just didn't want nothing to do with me for
like
over 5 years. And I looked for them, I'll stalk my sister in school. Like, I'll be waiting for her outside just to see her. I'll look for my mother. I'll drive down.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
that's
baby,
really
like, it was 5 rough years. I was banking, making money, and you were there, friend, for me through this traveling the world with me, and all of that. But little travel moments fulfilled that emptiness that I had of my family there. And nothing, maybe I woke up at 27. I told my mother, okay, I'm going to give up porn for you because I need I don't care about these millions anymore. I want my family love back. Nothing in the world is worth you losing your family for.
Wow.
And
that's such an important message.
Yeah,
and
nothing in the world. Like,
years later.
Yeah, you should not ever lose yourself. And I lost myself in that industry. I was lost, baby. I was away from God because I knew what I was doing wasn't right.
Right.
So I didn't want to. I never prayed for like 8 years, baby.
8 years?
For 8 years I was a porn star. I never prayed because I knew I was doing bad things online for money. So I didn't want to like, I didn't want to be a hypocrite, and I stayed in my lane. So one of the things that my mom wanted me to do when I retired is to get therapy, to go to church.
Have you been going to therapy though?
Maybe no. So I try to do it online, and I try to find the right therapist where I can sit and talk about all these things.
Right.
But I feel like you guys, my friends, I have my friend
like
Nicole,
the best therapist.
And you and Ivan, you guys are like my friends. I feel like I can talk to you guys about anything, right? And not judge me. But I do feel like I do want to get some, like, fix my anger issues. I feel like I do need to go to therapy to fix my anger issues. Because I explode as soon as I get angry.
You know what's good for that also is like boxing, because I have anger issues too. I didn't have the best childhood either, and I've been through some crazy trauma the past few years. Like, even my ex, he gave me PTSD. I won't say his name, you know who he is. And he really, I struggled with so much pain and internally. When you keep that in, that pain, and you don't, like, you have to release it in a way. So what I found for me to be extremely helpful is like doing solid core classes, Pilates classes, getting that anger out. Right. Because we're very physical people. Like, you're very little, but you'll fuck someone up. Like, we're very like feisty. So like in boxing, have you ever done boxing?
Yeah, I did boxing. I loved it. Very addicting.
Just, you'll get all the anger. That's
I feel
how
my
you,
best
like,
when I'm at
manage
the
your
gym
anger.
and boxing. You're right. But
That's
right
a
now
good
I've been
way.
focusing so much on paying some debts, working, paying bills that
Yeah.
I could make time to go to the gym, but if I don't,
you got to make the time.
have a gym trainer or like friends that push me to that, or motivation, I just won't do it alone.
It's important to have friends that motivate you to do that too.
Right.
Because it's so hard to get in there alone. But when you have the support of your friends and like, oh, this person so-and-so is holding me accountable, of course you're going to want to go to the gym.
I want to be able to like enjoy the gym though, and not like do it like I want to, just like right now, after 3 years of going to church, now I crave God. I crave worshiping Him and going to church.
Yeah, I crave going to church
to pray
too.
and stuff.
I need that.
So I want to feel like that about the gym.
Right.
And
you gotta find what works for you then, a program.
The thing is that I put all my family first and all my work first, and there's no time for me to work on myself as a train for the gym and all these things, because I'm always traveling working, because I have a big family to feed. I have to work, take care of my family in Venezuela. Venezuela is a third world country, is very poor, so I literally have to save a lot of money there to have everybody fed and medical money,
Yeah.
Entonces, so it's a tough situation. I have to work for me and my family, and sometimes I don't have time to work for myself.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's important to work on yourself too. Like you have to love yourself.
But there was a time that I was very addicted to the gym, and I felt amazing.
Really?
And I looked my best.
When was this?
This is when I was with Pump.
Pump.
Yeah, because I was locked up in the house with him, so I had time for the trainer to come train me to his house, or I would go to the gym and she'll work me out like 3-4 times a week, and I was loving it.
Yeah.
Because I have so much free time now. I'm not seeing sugars. I'm not working. I'm just stuck in the mansion with Pump, helping him out on anything. So I was just like, I'm gonna work out.
This
I'm
is
gonna
here
work
in
on
Miami,
myself.
you and Pump?
Yeah, this is here in Miami, obviously. Mm-hmm. And the trainer will come train me. Jazz, shout out to Jazz. And I felt my best there.
You were getting in good shape?
Yeah, I felt my best. I was a little plumped up because I'm skinny, but I don't like being bony.
Yeah.
There's a healthy skin that I'm skinny and tiny, but I want to look healthy. I want to look bony.
Yeah.
I want a little bit of muscles, and I want to tone up. But I've been traveling, doing so much lately that I literally just need to find time and make it a routine. And I want to crave that. I want to be able today I wake up and I need to go work out and do it.
Yeah.
No, for me, it's like, I need to smoke a blunt in bed and think about it and meditate. I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm going to be so tired. And who I'm going to go to the gym with? Like, I'm not going to go alone. So I'll be texting you and bothering my friends.
I know. You like to sleep in though.
I like to, but because I like to.
You're like a night owl.
Right. So I stay out in the studio. I stay in a lot. Like, I'm a homebody. Like, I stay in.
Yeah.
Because I'm so wild when I party and when I'm out
that you love to
right.
be.
I turn into this little demon when I'm out partying.
Not a
I'm
demon.
like the life of the party all the time, wilding out, jumping on walls, twerking everywhere, spraying champagne at the party. Like, I'm just crazy. This is why I don't drink alcohol or go party too much from, because I'll be too wild. But lately, I'm 32 now, so I just be staying home watching Netflix. I love movies.
What have you watched lately that's good? Anything good?
I watch everything. Right now I watched Moises.
Moises? What's that?
Moises, the life of Moises is one of Jesus' apostles. It's on Netflix. And since I'm connecting spiritually with God right now and studying Him, I want to know more to find my purpose and salvation. Yeah, it's a Netflix.
Okay.
So I'm just watching like God's movie, the apostles, anything to do with
spiritual.
Jesus and God.
Well, you're better than me.
I like to pray, baby. I like to connect. God is giving me so many revelations. Like, I can pray for something right now, and like I'll have it next week or by tomorrow. So His God revelations are so amazing. You understand? And it has helped me change my whole lifestyle from all this wild pornography, all this crazy stuff, to having some type, and the best I can, normal life.
Yeah, normalcy.
The
like
normal, normal as I could. Because I want to be normal, I don't want to, everywhere I go, it's like, oh, there's a porn star, or there's a porn star. So it's something that's going to follow me for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah.
So I need to learn how to deal with that. Mm-hmm. But now I do music. Now I do other things. And I want people to see that. I want people to make really good music. I prepare for this. Thanks God, God opened doors for me in the music industry. And I met Walter Con Records, and they signed me. Thank you, God, for that. And they prepared me very well, from dancing classes, singing lessons.
And you're working with some really cool people.
Yeah,
Last time
my team,
we talked,
my manager is here.
I don't want to drop any names, but you're doing very well, sis. Doing very good. I'm
He's
proud
the
of
best
you.
manager. I'm very wild, very crazy little girl. So he gives me a little discipline that I need because
Yeah.
I've been mad wild and not organized and just welling out. But so thank you, Rico, for that. And I have an amazing manager, amazing team right now.
That's
I feel
good.
like finally we're taking off, baby, in music.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's perfect timing because I had to interview you and it just worked out so well that you're doing the music now. It's like, I mean, I had to shout out the music. I'm like, the music, you know? Because everyone knows you for this, but I want your music to blow. You're already on Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, baby.
Right?
Like I'm doing this. I'm really doing this.
Like, yeah, it's really amazing.
And, I'm going to keep going hard. I'm very persistent.
Yeah.
You know me. If I made it big time in porn, I'm going to make it big time in music too.
That's what I'm talking
and we're just
about.
starting,
Yes, I
I'm
love
very,
that
very
for you.
persistent. I'm going to keep going. And, I'm going to just keeping into it and like
This
keep
is just
making more
season
music.
1. Season 2, stay tuned. She's
my
just getting
20s,
started.
I was a little tornado. My 30s, I want to just make music and be all passionate about it. And I want to turn the whole thing around from being all that toxic image that I was on my 20s, a whole decade, to become this big artist that I want to be now.
That's important in life, is growth, transitioning.
I want to portray though to my fans like
evolving.
healthy things though,
healthy things.
I want my music to be more commercial. I want to work on that because since I lived all these life experiences, all my music that I was putting out, I was like Puteria Time, my second song that I put out after
So catchy.
Mala with Pump. It's all about my porn world, right? What I was.
Yeah.
I did this song called Puteria Time.
So catchy.
And it's literally, I talk about me being in.
Was that one of your first songs?
This is a song that I made with Dashius Clay.
Okay.
Dashius Clay is who taught me all about music too.
Okay.
He was very patient. The first 3 years, he got me in the studio, and he helped me find myself. Like,
that's dope. I think I've met him a few times.
Yeah. I love Dashius for life. Super grateful for him always. Mm-hmm. He's always going to be my brother. And when I make it to the top, I'm going to gift him something. I don't know what I can do for him because he just taught me so much and he has so much patience and he helped me so much from becoming a porn star to becoming a music artist. And I'm just so grateful for amazing people that I have in my life that have taught me other ways that is not porn or sex or all that degrading stuff. Like, I finally feel like I'm making art and I love my songs and my music and I make what I'm feeling a song.
It's amazing.
It's an energy, and I feel like us women, we all go through things in life, and I think we can all relate.
Yeah, you're in a good path, sis. I'm so proud of you. Happy, I'm so proud of you. You had no idea. I've seen
and then nothing,
evolution.
baby. Here we got. Now we're doing everything better. Now we're conscious. Now we're awake. Now we're 30, and this is the next chapter of my life. And
yes,
and we're just starting.
It's
the best is yet to come. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Where can we end this? Oh my gosh. Is there a particular life lesson that you've learned that you want to pass on to others?
Look, I just keep learning lessons until today, every day. Keep learning. But you know what? I feel like...
or just anything that you can...
To me, baby, like, it's so hard to have a relationship because of what I do and and what I come from. For me, it's always like, it's love or it's money or it's the sugars or it's me being with a man in a real relationship. I never, with Pump, I dropped all my sugars to be with him and very exclusive to him and just move in with him. But I never did that with other men in my life, drop my bag and my sugars just for that. And I feel like I want to change my lifestyle. I'm 32 now. I feel like I'm going to be doing this for another year, and then once I make it in music and blow up, I don't want to, I want to be normal. I want to be a full-time artist and give up and just close all that chapter of all these things that I do on the side and just focus on music and in my OnlyFans, and that's it.
You're doing well.
I want to be normal. I want to have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's one of my notes is because I did like a question on Instagram on my reels, on my stories, not my reels, and I asked the fans. I was like, "Is there anything you want to ask Veronica?" And there's a couple questions. Someone asked, "Where do you see yourself in like 5 or 10 years?" One of the fans.
I feel, and I dream about this, that I'm gonna be selling a lot of arenas, concerts. Yeah,
Big
I'm
shit.
gonna be.
I love that.
I'm gonna become one of the top artists because I'm gonna go hard in this industry and I'm not playing. And I have an amazing label, an amazing team, and my manager and everybody like that got my back. And you know, now I have it structured, and we're gonna do the most, and we're gonna make it in this industry, and I'm gonna take over the world, yes, and I'm gonna pass on all my life experiences to all these girls that that are strippers, that are sex workers, that are porn stars, you know, how they can change their life around and turn it all around to be who you really want to be and be healthy and do healthy things. I'm not saying that porn was a mistake. I don't think so. That's how I learned so much.
That's part of your history.
And that's who made me and my name, right?
Yeah.
So I can be ungrateful for that.
No, you can't.
Also, all my, I love all my porn fans.
Yeah.
Because they all keep paying for all my content. And that way I make a lot of money on my OnlyFans. And that's how I can sustain myself and my family, right?
Yes.
So I'm always going to be grateful for all my fans, you know, and my porn fans. But nobody knows how hard it is, you as a porn star, for your personal life, to have a personal normal relationship, and you know the mental issues that cost you being in the industry. And I want to be a good example to all those women out there, you know, that are strippers, that are dancers, sex workers, that they can do whatever, you know, save up your money, create a business, heal spiritually and mentally, because we all need to wake up and we all need to heal. And that's pretty much it. I didn't end up telling you about my father. I help him. We all came here to the US, but I go back every year. He had surgery, he had a tumor that was making him act crazy, right? So we removed his tumor, and then I got him on therapy, like a psychiatric, 2 different brain doctors. And now we're helping him so much. My dad has changed. Now he goes to church. Now he's he's the best father in the world. I forgave him. I pay for all his things. I help him a lot. My father just needed a lot of help. Like mental help, you know? And once I started helping him the past 10 years, my father's a new man. My father's a new man. He's with God.
That's so good.
So I'm very happy for him. He still got a little bit of schizophrenia, but we control it with medication. And also with his therapies, you know? I have cameras around the house. I'm always going to take care of my parents, no matter what.
That's one thing about you. You take care of your family.
Like I take care of my whole entire family. I'm never going to, this is why I work so hard. Every day you're going to see me working. There's not a day that I'm not working. And if I have it off, I'll try to make money online and do something.
You're a boss.
I'm a workaholic.
It's incredible.
I'm young. I almost never get tired. And I have a purpose. And I have my family to help, and I'm gonna keep going, friend. I'm so proud of you. I think that was a good episode just to wrap everything up. But I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and I think one of the biggest message I took out of this was to save your money. Save your money, because I didn't save my money. I bought my mama, my dad a house. And I haven't bought myself a house.
That's good advice, though, to anyone listening. It's
save your money, invest, pay your taxes.
Pay your goddamn taxes.
And don't fall in love with guys that want to take from you. If you're an empowered woman like us, here in Miami, there's a lot of opportunists.
Don't let them take advantage.
A lot of guys that want to be with you just because you're famous or you have money and live off of you and like whatever. Don't be with those bums. Be with a guy that can provide for you, can respect you and love you. I'm single right now because I'm healing from a lot of traumas that I had in the past, and I haven't found a right man right now that can get me off my streets and that I can settle for. But definitely saying I want love, you know, I want love, obviously. I want to feel in love, but right now I just need to focus on my career and work on myself.
I think that's it. That's all that matters.
Thank you, friend, for having me.
Of course.
And friend, thank you for never leaving my side the past
never,
10 years.
Ever.
And I love you, Rosemary. I'll do anything for you.
You
know this.
I thank you so much for coming on here.
Thanks for having me.
I love you.
I love you more, baby.
I think we're done. That's a wrap. Mwah.